Designing a small backyard with a pool can be tricky, as the pool often takes up a large portion of the available space. There are several creative ways to enhance functionality and ambiance around the pool to make the area feel inviting and spacious. Over the years, we've worked with many homeowners to create spaces in small backyards with pools. And because I am the backyard design guy, we thought we'd share some of our favorite transformations to give you some design strategies for your own small yard challenges. So today we're heading down to Southern California to take a look at a backyard remodel that hadn't had a facelift for over 50 years. When our homeowners ended up back in the family home they hadn't lived in since 1973, it was time for an outdoor transformation. The couple had loads of ideas, but new yard space was limited. With the pool as the main focal point, they wanted to create zones for lounging, dining, and entertaining around it. The designers tackled the key challenges: lack of space and functionality. As you can see, one entire walkway of the pool is unused. Sure, the shrubs give extra privacy along the fence line, but this layout doesn't facilitate smooth flow or accommodate everyone's needs, leaving swimmers without comfortable spots to rest and non-swimmers competing for the few available seats. The solution then is we need to create more living space for everyone. So by enhancing flow and ensuring there were enough seating options, the designers improved both comfort and functionality, making the backyard a better space for everyone, whether swimming or simply relaxing. Watching YouTube videos, they came across my channel and they watched tons of outdoor living videos. As Steve says, dozens of projects where I learned about lighting, drainage, storage, and counter space. And his wife Kathy says, but you need a plan to get started, a concept to get the ball rolling, and a design as the ultimate first step.
Made it easy, when we were talking to contractors, when we can show them, those 3D designs of, what we have in mind.
I appreciate that. And I've heard a lot of positive feedback from homeowners and contractors that are really happy. The visuals were so easy, all the different angles, they were easy to be able to see what the homeowners' feelings were behind their thoughts, instead of just say, oh, we want a structure or we want an outdoor kitchen, to be able to see exactly what the homeowner wants. It's a huge thing for the contractor. And it is true, having a 3D design implants the vision in your mind, and you can see yourself in your new outdoor space before any construction gets started. But if something needs tweaking or you run against roadblocks, revise the plan until each area of your new space is just right. Okay. Now that you've reached the thumbs up on making sure a design plan comes before all else, let's find solutions for this 1973 pool surround. Check out these 3D design plans to see the vision that was shown to the homeowners. Imagine their first response to seeing these designs transform their old backyard into an amazing outdoor living space. Well, Kathy, I know we talked about this a little bit, but will you kind of share some of the highlights that you were hoping for?
Yeah, well, we kind of had an idea. We just knew that we had a very open space on the side of this house, so we knew we wanted an outside kitchen because the inside kitchen's small. And you guys came up with that plan, how to put that out there. And it is, nobody around here has a kitchen backyard like this here. We had ideas, but you guys put it into motion. I was obsessed with getting red tile roof because I love them. And then you were able to put that on there. You guys had all the ideas. And then by having your plan, everything fell into place. Then an electrician sitting here, and he's a tall guy, goes, why don't you even make it taller? I'm like, okay,
let's do it.
So you just have to be open to change. But if you don't have that initial starting point, and that's what I tell so many people, you came up with the concept. I think that's the biggest thing. You just have to get to that point.
It allows you to get the ball rolling.
I love what you both just said, because there's got to be a starting point and people don't know where to start. You have to start with the visuals and get an overall comprehensive design.
You're the ultimate first step.
I love that, you guys. Let's dive in and see how refreshing this backyard with a modern vibe really brought the space back to life. A wraparound seat wall provides loads of seating for waterlogged swimmers. Now, seat walls are something I really want to spend some time on highlighting because in small spaces, these are almost a must. They are going to be a space saver, but they're also going to be a secondary destination. This is something I add almost all the time, especially to pool destinations, because the kids are going to put their towels out there. They're going to have their lunches on those seat walls. So look at this property. We strategically placed these seat walls in. This is the Monterey property. And right next to that pool, it was an old, ugly pool when we started. But now it's a beautiful, gorgeous, multiple destination outdoor living space, but the highlight was those seat walls as a secondary destination. Now here's another one where we added some seat walls strategically. Even though they had this beautiful lake view in the pool, the seat walls gave a little bit of extra area for people to land. Now another thing that seat walls can add is the ability to do little water features off of them. They're very popular with pools, but you have the secondary benefit of that also becoming a seat. Now this one also had some fire bowls, so another thing that captures your eye, draws your attention, but it gives a secondary spot to land. We also did that over here at the McPhee property. Take a look at this majestic tropical pool area, but the seat wall again, small little seat wall, added another beautiful destination to land around the pool. And then look at this pool where we added a fire feature with the seat wall right by the pool. It was a great thing to capture your eye, but we also did a secondary fire pit down below. But the seat wall again can be used for seating and it could be used for just eye attraction and enjoyment.
Back in the Orr property, the pergola adds pizzazz. And speaking of pizzazz, the new outdoor covered structure is to die for.
The homeowner, Steve, who was the main chef in the property, wanted an outdoor kitchen with the works. Steve dreamed of a deluxe gas grill, an Evo flat top barbecue, and a non-stop counter space for days.
This once pool yard with limited living space has a shade pergola on one side of the pool and an entertaining pavilion off the kitchen.
And also all of your TVs on your projects. I remember when Steve wanted to get the TV, I'm thinking, no, this all looks good, but boy, a TV really does finish the space.
Oh, it does. Well, here, let's look. I just want to show you guys what it looked like just when we...
Oh,
wow.
You remember that picture?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, the nothing area.
It's kind of barren and forlorn.
You did a good job of sneaking in behind the tree and letting us see the side of the way it looked, but now look at the way that turned out.
Oh my gosh.
That
it makes me happy. Now I'm going to cry.
Now remember, in small spaces, you still want to have covered areas. Now, covered destinations could be fully covered. They could be partially covered with a pergola. They could be even shade cells or shade for those shade seekers. If we're all in the sun all day, we also want a place to retreat to for some shade. Now, as we just saw in the Orr property, we had a strategic way of giving a fully covered area, but they had a secondary destination with a pergola. So really, no matter what, even in a very small space, whether it's a covered structure fully covered or a pergola, I guarantee you can get it in. I would love to help you if you need it. Link below. But take a look at this one that we did in Australia. They did a fully covered space with a bar, you know, the traditional TV setup and outdoor kitchen. But look at what we did over the pool. We added a whole pergola with the ability to open and close shade cells. Now take a look at this small backyard, or you might call it a little bit larger backyard. This one's also in California. It's right on a golf course. It's beautiful, but they had an old pool, which they refurbished, and then we put the covered structure right next to it. This structure also had an outdoor kitchen, but it was also just a relaxing spot to entertain. So really, structures come in all shapes and sizes, but I would strongly recommend, even with your small backyard with a pool, finding a spot for a structure, trying to add these next two features. It's an outdoor kitchen and it's an outdoor bar. And you can do that even in a small space. There's always creative ways to do it. So running back over to the McPhee property, they just used their waterproof deck as their outdoor living space, but underneath that we did a beautiful huge bar, double-sided. We did a whole outdoor kitchen and a TV viewing area, and it's right by a pool bar that they added. And then take a look at this beautiful bar area, a small backyard with a pool. We squeezed in a little covered structure. We added to the space with that. We added the bar, the outdoor kitchen, a nice spot for the TV.
Now back to the Orr property for some cool design changes that made a dramatic difference.
Kathy wanted more than this monochrome style. She wanted to bring the space to life. Then she became inspired by the idea of adding some of the old Spanish flavor by adding colorful tiles, and set about tiling some tables and chairs for poolside.
Huge difference. And I love the way you did the wall too. Just that little bit of extension on top of the wall.
Yes.
That was huge. I think that made a big difference.
You know, I have to tell you that originally we wanted to have shrubs along that wall, how it was.
Yeah.
Because I loved that look. But once they came down, it was like, wait, we can actually move around here and there's space.
Now, something I want to highlight as we're talking about pools and small spaces is something that's really popular. It's called cocktail pools. Now, cocktail pools, they don't really have a deep end or a shallow end. Everything is all pretty much one elevation. Typically, it's at a 4-foot depth with just a couple of steps in. Now, there's two different ways of doing it. You could just do it as a wading pool, or you can put some seats around the whole thing, or even on one side, and use it as an all-weather pool, both winter and summer. You can heat it up, or you can cool it down, and you can get enjoyment all season. So take a look at this little cocktail pool, small backyard. We did a nice little pergola area destination, but the main thing for their family was this cocktail pool. They wanted to enjoy it in the summer, which they did. They used it a lot, and they used it as more of a wading pool. But in the wintertime, they heated it up and it became a hot tub for the family. They loved it. Now, same thing with this cocktail pool. It was in a free-form shape here, and they did the benches around so they could enjoy it as a hot tub. And in the summertime, they cooled it down, and it was a beautiful wading pool for not only the kids, but the adults love this place as well. So here's some examples of some designs that we have with cocktail pools that are in production right now. And a very popular thing for small spaces with pools are swim spas. Now, these are purchase units. You oftentimes have to get this unit in with a crane, as you see here. Now, this one was in Canada. Take a look at what we did to get this swim spa in the backyard. Getting it back there was just part of the problem because we wanted to make sure the design was just right. So we actually recessed this in with a vault. So as you start to think about this, please contact me. I'd love to make sure it's all designed right and it's all hidden. You can still get to the equipment because remember, those swim spas are really tall. Sometimes they're 52 inches or more, and it's not very attractive to the eye from the side. So it's oftentimes very important to sink them in. And here's another trick for swim spas is you could do a deck on one elevation and then have an open kind of hangout zone on the lower area. Take a look at what we've done here. That way, I think we really did a good job of softening, covering the swim spa for full season use, but also giving multiple destinations with one swim spa as our main destination. And that's also what we did at this one in Georgia. We built a deck around it. So this one was not in a vault. It was just, we raised it up a little bit with a deck. So a couple of steps up to a main landing and then a main hangout area in front. It just took some of the lines, those harsh lines, those vertical lines away and softened it with the deck around the swim spa. And here's another small space in Tennessee where we did the design with the swim spa. In fact, I think we got really creative here. We vaulted it down, sunk it down, gave them the little pergola off to the side, outdoor kitchen, multiple destinations in a small space. I think it's beautiful. I think you can get some ideas from what you can do to get creative in your small backyard. But if you need help, again, I'd love to help you with the design of your space. I do it for people all over the world. See the link below and let's jump on a Zoom call. I'd love to meet you and take a look at your space. With thoughtful planning and small design tweaks, a compact backyard with a pool can be transformed into a comfortable, multifunctional retreat that feels surprisingly spacious. So this happy couple are thrilled with their outdoor remodel, and we are so happy for them.
Oh,
Oregon,
yikes. Good luck on
Oregon
that
versus
one.
Ohio State this weekend at Autzen Stadium. At least it's at home.
Don't you just love being in the Big Ten?
I do. Don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah. You guys go to any games this year?
No.
We have this fantastic outdoor bar and barbecue and TV.
But we tailgated for like 15 years. So
Yeah, no kidding. This is it's called home gating now. You might as well just invite
Yeah, home
your friends
gating, yeah.
over and you home gate and watch the game right
I
there.
love that term. I'm going to use that.
So we hope you got some things out of this video, but take a look at this video all about the secrets of designing and building in small backyards. Enjoy.